How's it going, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Trailmakers with me, ThatDomGuy. Today we're going to be taking a look at, in depth, a couple of glitches. The zero drag glitch. I've had a couple of comments in the comment section asking about the zero drag glitch, and also we're going to take a look at the new hover pad glitch, the UFO Engine, seeing as how it's been modified after the last update. No longer functions really properly anymore. I'll show you a way that we can actually still make a UFO engine. But first, let's take a look at the zero drag glitch. So, the easiest way to show you this is because we have a aerodynamic tab. So let's just bring in a seat here. I'm just gonna bring in the jet seat, and I'm gonna put, let's say, a slope like this on the front, and I'm gonna put a couple of thrusters on either side. Lock this, and lock that. Now, we're gonna put a little tail on the back just so we can keep it straight. So I'm just going to turn a couple of these upside down, pop them down here, hey, place like that. And we'll take some vertical stabilizers, put them right here. And we've got a small craft that can zippity zip. So first thing we're going to do, actually, let's take this into the test zone where we can actually have an open area to rip around at max speed. Alright, so now that we're in the test zone and we have our creation, let's just build this into the world. We're just going to jump in and hold the space bar. So this is going to give us a base for how fast can this thing actually go the way it is right now. So we're going 300, 350, 360. Will we break 400? Yep, still seem to be going up slowly. 400, just over 400 it looks like. Still slowly trying to creep up, but we'll say 400. So at 405, we're topping out. Not much we can do to go any faster. So let's try putting some aerodynamics in front of these two jets. Why? Because, let's delete that. If we go up to the aerodynamics tab and click on that, anywhere you see a green arrow is where there's drag on the vehicle. So we can, as you can see, this green here is a little darker. This is a little brighter. So we'll simply move this to here, copy that to the other side. Now they're all bright green. So let's build that in, jump in, hold space. 406 was our max before. So even with a little bit more aerodynamics on there, we should probably hit, I bet you it's going to be like 415, 420. Oh, there we go, even over 440, 450. Look at that, like an extra 60 or 70, 80 kilometers an hour just from adding those two pieces. You think adding more weight would make it move slower, right? No. Don't be ridiculous. So this is, yeah, another 80 kilometers an hour faster just with those. So the trick with the zero drag glitch is we want to eliminate any of these yellow arrows, or these green arrows, sorry. So by doing that, we are going to be eliminating what the software or the computer sees as drag on the vehicle. So in order to do that, we're going to need to build something out front here, and we're going to use our detachable blocks, which will be detached, and anything that is adding resistance, see, we can just, I'll show you real quick here. We'll just add these on the front like this. And then I'm going to take, it doesn't really matter what kind of block you use, because it's not going to be there in a second. So we'll use some of these, we'll just block this off completely. So now as you can see, we've eliminated the green arrows from in front of these jets. And I'm going to double click this. I'm going to set this to be on space and to toggle and to make scrap. I do not want these pieces left in front of me, I want them to simply disappear. So the kicker with using this system is now you need to find some way to connect this building on the front here with your detachable blocks onto your build, where once you detach it, there's no extra parts sticking out. So one of the easiest ways to do this is to eliminate this. We're going to copy two more of these over and down and then up. Now the entire thing in the front is connected. This is all red, and this doesn't matter because this isn't going to exist pretty soon. And once this is gone, it's going to see this creation with none of these lines in front of it here, which means it sees no drag. So let's do this we'll test this real quick here. So we have that all set to make garbage, so to make trash, let's jump in and just hit space real quick. So all that stuff disappears, and as you can see, it's not actually there, it'll disappear, so there's nothing. So that shouldn't be any faster, because now it's all flat, right? So let's rebuild. And hold space. 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. So as you can see, the whole front end is now seen as it doesn't even exist. There's no drag whatsoever. So the only drag that's slowing us down right now is what's hitting the cockpit, the green arrows on the cockpit, and the green arrows on the vertical stabilizers on the back. So 880, 890, probably hit 900. Probably gonna hit the wall here soon. So 900 kilometers an hour. So let's complete our glitch by adding another deuce up top here. I'm going to add another one on top of that, and then I'm going to copy these two up like this. Now it removed those two aerodynamic arrows that were in front of the cockpit. Now I'm going to lift these up above like this, and I'm going to copy them back a couple of times to try and get rid of this. Looks like I got room for one more set. Nope, looks like I don't have room for one more set. So I'm going to move these back one. Actually, no. Yeah, I'm going to move those back one. Yeah. And then I'm going to put these in place here. But now we've created a gap here. So in order to not move these back and have these actually fit, we're going to do this. Move these back up here. I'm going to select these 6 up top here, these high ones. Move them like that. A little gap here that we can just add in a deuce. And now the only aerodynamic arrows are these red ones on the front. And that's all going to disappear when we're done. So we're going to build that in. We're going to jump in. We're going to hit space and hold it. And let's see what we do. Our max speed should be way up there. If you watch the speedometer, she just keeps spinning at the same rate. 400, 500. Hopefully we'll be able to break the sound barrier with just these two thrusters. So we are over 1,000. Hopefully we don't hit the wall first. There we go, 12 and sonic boom. 1,400, 1,500, 1,600. This is with 2 thrusters, right? So this is basically an explanation of the zero drag glitch. Is you simply want to find a way to completely cover the front of your vehicle and eliminate any of those green arrows that are on the front. And once that detaches, it sees no drag in the front of your vehicle whatsoever. So again, it gets a little more complicated when you have a bigger vehicle with wings and stuff like that, but if you make a flat platform out the front, you can usually extend your detachable blocks off of that piece and cover up any of those aerodynamic drag areas and eliminate them once you remove them with whatever button that you want. So you could have those on there and then take off and then have it a different key, set them all to, say, number 1, for example. And then when we spawn it in, we can still hit space. See how much slower we gain speed? We're doing 170, 180, and then you hit number 1, bang! Mahatma Gandhi! We are so gone! Well, yesterday's news. So you can have that on your plane where you detach just a small amount to get more speed. But that is the zero drag glitch explained a little better so that you can apply it to your build as well. Alright, so the next glitch that we're going to be taking a look at is has been around for a while. I've done a video on it before in the Glitches Be Crazy video. I'll post a link to that up here. Get rid of this. So what we're going to do is bring in a armored seat, and we're going to bring in some hover pads. Now the hover pads used to work up and down this way. You turn them upside down. You would put your hinges above, and then you would be able to push a block, some curved blocks into the hover pad, and that would give you propulsion forward. That doesn't necessarily work anymore, but that's nothing to fear because we can still make a UFO engine. Now we turn them sideways. Ooh. The advancements in technology are incredible, astounding, leaps and bounds. Not really, but it seems like that sometimes, man. Okay, so we're going to grab a couple of deuces here. We're going to drop it on the side of the seat so we got some place to attach our hinges. We're gonna grab these little hinges here. We're gonna turn them green in. We're gonna put 2 on this side, 2 on this side. We're gonna have to revert these because they always flip themselves. Green is going in. So another thing that is important with these, with this glitch particularly, is the direction that you're pushing the block into the hover pad. So this here is connected on the front, so your hinges are pushing down into the front here. So we'll simply have a look and see at what that will do. We're going to set all of our hinges to number 1 on the green. We'll set that to toggle. Speed is fine at 1, and the angle we're going to leave at 30. That seems to work quite well. And so now we're going to jump in here in the seat, and we're going to hit number 1. And as you can see, we're doing 400 kilometers an hour already. So 420 kilometers an hour. That's not too bad for 2 hover pads and 0 thrusters. So that's basically how that glitch works, and you can take this same setup, copy it out this way, put it on the front. Again, we'll make sure that our hinges are going the right way. Green facing in. Copy these 2 hover pads out front here. Yoast like that. And then we'll do that. We'll hit that. And now we'll hit number 1. Now watch. Oh. How come we're not going anywhere? It's not moving, man. It's not working. How come it's not working? Well, it's not working because, like I said, these 2 hover pad engines are now pushing against each other, which is why we're not going anywhere, because we need this, the hinges and our block that's going into the hover pad, to be connected from the front of the hover pad pushing in this way. This is on the front of the hover pad, or the back of the hover pad in this case, pushing in from the opposite direction. So we can take this, rotate it this way. Same thing with this. Rotate it this way. Connect a couple of these up front, like that. And now we have the block being pushed in is coming from the same angle on both. Let's build that in. Let's jump in and hit number 1. There we go. 400 should give us right up close to 500 kilometers an hour. And that's just sliding on the ground. That's with no skis or wheels or wings or nothing like that. So that is a great way. And you can just hit number 1 to turn those off. Build that and build that in and hit number 1. So right around the same speed. So you can try playing with the different angles. We're at 30 degrees right now on those hinges. Try maybe 15 degrees, 25 degrees. And also if you invert these, you turn it this way so that the slope is facing the hover pad, you get adverse reaction like this, where without even pushing number 1, it wants to automatically pull you backwards. So you can use that by, again, if you wanted to place your hinges on this side of the hover pad, then you could use these inverted like this and it'll pull you forward. So it sees the slope basically as the direction that it wants to add the thrust to. So we can build that in, we'll jump in. It wants to go backwards like this until we hit number 1. And then we go forwards. But as you can see, we're a little bit slower going forwards because we don't have the same angle on those back pieces as we do on the front pieces, because they're upside down. But that's a great way to build a powered plane. I just put a creation up on the shop a couple of days ago called the Firebolt. It's all solid white. Uses 4 of these engines like this, or a set of UFO engines like this sideways with a couple of wings, and it's also a sub. So it flies at 500 kilometers an hour in the air and does 100 kilometers an hour underwater, because the beauty of the UFO engine is it works underwater. So if you want to make a sub using them, great way to do it. You get like a stealth sub where you don't necessarily have all the propellers, and you can still zip around pretty quick. Lots of torque, lots of power. You can also have pistons set it up to move those pieces so you don't get all these weird adverse reactions when you're not using the speed. So you can turn it off. But yeah, play around with the different angles and see if you can get more speed, less speed, more control. Some stabilizers, horizontal stabilizers or vertical stabilizers usually help with these things. And microscopic steering, like 5 degrees, 10 degrees at the most, set at 0.1 for speed on any small fins or ailerons or anything that you use to try and steer it, because it does react really quickly, so it'll be really sensitive steering. So hopefully that helps you guys out with a couple of these glitches, clarifying how they work in detail. Hopefully that'll make your builds a lot funner. You can experiment with some of those, and leave a comment below if you come across any new glitches. I'll be more than happy to check them out. So I'm going to say thanks for watching. Hit 4,000 subs. I can't believe you guys did it. That's so cool. That's right on. I could have never believed we would ever get this far. But yeah, thanks for watching again, and we will see you in the next one. Hit that like button.